Hurricane Milton has quickly become one of the most destructive storms of the season. It was originally a Category 5 hurricane, but has since been downgraded to a Category 2. Don't let that fool you though, it's still a serious threat. With winds nearing 125 miles per hour, Milton has caused widespread flooding, massive power outages, and serious damage along Florida's Gulf Coast. Over 1 million people have been evacuated, and more than 2.6 million homes have lost power. The images we're seeing, huge waves crashing onto the shore, boats tossed around like toys, and entire neighborhoods underwater, show just how powerful this storm still is. But hurricanes like Milton aren't just destructive, they're also fascinating natural events. Did you know a single hurricane can release more energy in one day than all the world's power plants combined can produce in that same time? It's true. The energy from a hurricane is so immense, it's like detonating 10,000 atomic bombs every second. That kind of power explains why Milton's impact has been so severe. It fuels not just the wind, but also relentless rain, massive waves, and storm surges that can easily overwhelm coastal defenses. One of Milton's biggest dangers has been record-breaking rainfall. In some areas, daily rain records have been shattered, causing flash floods that turn streets into rivers. And even though the storm has weakened to a Category 2, authorities are still issuing warnings. The risk of flooding and further infrastructure damage remains high. Now, let's get into some lesser-known facts about hurricanes. Have you ever wondered why hurricanes have names? It wasn't always like this. Before 1950, hurricanes were identified by their geographic location, but that made tracking multiple storms at once confusing. So they started giving them names, initially only female names. By 1979, they began alternating between male and female names. This naming system makes it much easier to communicate about storms like Milton, especially when issuing public warnings. If Milton turns out to be especially destructive, its name will likely be retired, never to be used again, just like Katrina or Sandy. Another interesting fact is the structure of hurricanes. You've probably heard of the eye of the hurricane, that calm center in the middle of the storm. While the winds around the eye are often the strongest, inside the eye, the weather can be oddly peaceful. The sky might even clear for a while, creating a false sense of security. But this calm is deceptive. Once the eye passes, the other half of the storm hits, often with equal or greater force. In Milton's case, some areas along Florida's coast experienced this eerie calm before the storm hit again with full force, catching many people off guard. Despite their strength, hurricanes often move surprisingly slowly. In some places, Milton has been crawling along at just 10 miles per hour. This slow pace makes hurricanes even more dangerous because they stay over affected areas for longer, pounding them with rain and wind for hours or even days. Slow-moving hurricanes can also lead to higher storm surges when powerful winds push ocean water onto land, which are especially dangerous in low-lying coastal areas. In Florida, Milton's storm surges have already flooded several coastal communities. Right now, we're still dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Milton. While the immediate threat isn't over yet, the long-term effects are starting to become clear. Hundreds of thousands of homes are still without power, and the extensive damage to roads, bridges, and buildings could take weeks, if not months, to repair. The human toll is heartbreaking too. At least 2 people have been confirmed dead, and more casualties could occur as rescue efforts continue. For many, survival is the priority as they cope with the aftermath of severe flooding and widespread destruction. It's important to remember that just because the winds have died down, it doesn't mean the danger is over. The storm surge, heavy rain, and flooding from hurricanes like Milton can be just as deadly, if not more so, than the winds themselves. Authorities are urging residents in the affected areas to stay alert and follow evacuation and safety orders, as conditions remain extremely dangerous. Hurricane Milton is a sobering reminder of nature's raw power. As we witness the storm's devastation, it's critical to pay attention to the warnings and evacuations that can save lives. While we may marvel at the immense energy and unique features of hurricanes, we can't forget the human toll they leave behind. Stay safe, stay informed, and if you're in an affected area, be sure to follow the guidance of local authorities as we all hope for Milton to pass soon and for recovery efforts to begin. If you like the video and want to see more related content, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button for notifications.